way product cost comes down dramatically for you and me to consume as we go along.
How can we address India's issue with logistics? How can we be one company that can go out there and make that difference by addressing a lot of aspects that were touched upon today? In fact, taking a cue from Mr. Munjal, how do we be India's Dabbawala? And I think over the last 2 or 3 years, our answer to this was integration. So logistics in India, for it to be integrated truly, you have two elements. You have the supply chain, which is purely freight forwarding, connecting product from India anywhere to the world or back. With it, you need information technology to be able to apply science in the way you're moving product, in being able to analyze, forecast, in taking value-added services and not just product moving, which is price-driven, but to be able to add value in how you can control that movement. And you can't do this only with the supply chain of freight forwarding or supply chain management or IT. You need infrastructure. And infrastructure in two very critical areas. One which touched upon, hubbing. Do the China way, and I do agree that some of the solutions in India will be Indian and not necessarily Chinese, but we definitely need hub infrastructure that could augment some of the regulatory issues that we have. Taxes, local taxes, they were touched upon, but import duties as well. How do we process product which is coming in and out of our country better? And then once you're inside the country, we have 62% of all the container freight traffic landing on one of our ports in JNPT. But we have the manufacturing hub in the NCR region here close to Delhi. So how is all the raw materials coming from JNPT in here to get produced and then get exported back without the freight corridor? And then once it's in the port, it needs to get somewhere, and you need that visibility. You need it to talk to your ERP. So how do you do all this? So to provide global supply chain solutions and infrastructure, fuse it, what we've done is over the last 9 years, we've built a supply chain legacy. And then now with the supply chain legacy, which is ready, servicing about 1,200 customers, we've now taken the rail infrastructure part, domestic hubs, free trade warehousing zones, and then converted all and built it into an integrated logistics solution. We're talking about the free trade warehousing zones. And after all, this is ELICIT, emerging logistics in India. And this is emerging infrastructure in logistics that can change the way we've been doing things for so long. The free trade warehousing zone was actually part of the foreign trade policy of 2004. What it does is it's basically a subsection 7A, Paul Bradley talked about it, of the SEZ Act that basically allows the benefits, which is duty deferment for 2 years, so you can hold product in these zones without the working capital tied up on duty otherwise. If you have a non-linear supply chain, this works. You can manage vendor-managed inventory solutions that are otherwise not possible. Indian suppliers have the burden of vendor-managed inventories that they need to manage in Rotterdam for their clients. But the Indian customer buying globally can't have this facility because we don't have the regulatory framework until now with the free trade warehousing zones. You have service tax benefits on all activities that are conducted inside these free trade warehousing zones. So any value addition or packing activity can be done without service taxes. For any product that comes from another country into a free trade warehousing zone in India and then goes to another country, all the profits that you earn from that becomes income tax exempt. Our definition here of integrated supply chain is we'll need to have the flexibility to be able to have the store manager go into an intranet site and check what his stock availability in his free trade warehousing zone is. Depending on that, if he wants a combination of products of different sizes and forms that are available, he can place his order, and as soon as he places that order, real time it prints in the free trade warehousing zone and also talks to this company's global ERP system with the finance and procurement teams to understand that store number X from country Y has placed this order. In terms of product that needs to come from all of these suppliers into the zone, Arshay can manage it in terms of making sure that where there is consolidation possible, product comes through rail and is not unnecessarily traveling through road. And also, once the order is placed and you have the cost advantages and the efficiency advantages of doing this activity in India, it needs to be then shipped to the store that the order came from. And there, Arshay Logistics can take care of making sure that product moves and then reaches the right destination by, again, aggregating. So if you have the store in Barcelona and Madrid and Antwerp having an order, maybe you can send it in one container to Rotterdam and then distribute it, and bring aggregation and economies of scale in 3PL. But being able to provide this solution where the free trade warehousing zone is one aspect, but here's a classic example where you have information technology, rail, free trade warehousing zone, supply